Good evening, you're watching Just the News. I'm Medha Patkar. We start off with our top story today. UP Police has formed a special investigation team to look into 6 cases registered in the state against Alt News co-founder Mohammed Zubair. Now, this is according to ANI, which quoted Superintendent of Police of Lakhimpur Kheri District Sanjeev Suman. Now, the team will look into 1 case each filed in the districts of Sitapur, Lakhimpur Kheri, Nagar and Ghaziabad, and 2 cases filed in Hathras. Now, the cases pertain to making satirical comments on anchors of television channels allegedly hurting religious sentiments of the Hindu community and posting allegedly inflammatory content about deities. Now, in the meantime, according to live law, the Supreme Court has extended an interim bail granted to Alt News co-founder Mohammed Zubair in the Sitapur case until further orders. Yesterday, he was remanded to 14-day judicial custody by a Lakhimpur Kheri court in Uttar Pradesh. However, he remains in custody as he's also been named, like I mentioned, in other cases. Now, in the Sitapur case, the court gave 4 weeks to the Uttar Pradesh government to file an affidavit stating its stand and listed the matter for hearing on the 7th of September. Meanwhile, an update on rains in the country right now. A lot of it is coming in from Gujarat and Maharashtra. At least 12 people have been killed in rain-related incidents across Maharashtra and Gujarat, while 7 people were killed in Gujarat, where a flood-like situation has risen. In many areas, 5 people died in Maharashtra's Gadchiroli town. Now, Gujarat's disaster management minister has said that over 9,000 people were relocated and 468 of them have been rescued. The weather department has issued a warning of heavy to very heavy rainfall with isolated extremely heavy rain in several districts for today and during the next couple of days as well. Now, several districts like Valsad and Navsari are the worst hit areas in Gujarat, and at least 10 trains were also cancelled because of heavy rains. 18 platoons of the SDRF and the NDRF have been deployed across the state. An update on the Bhima Koregaon case right now. The Supreme Court has extended the interim bail granted on medical grounds to activist Varavara Rao in the Bhima Koregaon case. The hearing will be held on the 19th of July. Rao had challenged the April 13th order of the Bombay High Court rejecting his plea for permanent bail on medical grounds. Now, he was arrested on the 28th of August 2018 from his home in Hyderabad and is an under trial in the Bhima Koregaon case. Now, he has been booked under the UAPA Act. Also, the Madhya Pradesh police has booked social activist Medha Patkar and 11 others for allegedly misusing donation funds that were collected in the name allegedly of education for tribal children. Now, during the preliminary investigation, the police has discovered that the Narmada Navnirman Abhiyan Trust had collected 13 crore rupees in the last 14 years, whose source and expenditure are unknown. Now, the FIR also accused Patkar of misleading the court by presenting her annual income of 6,000 rupees, while an amount of 19 lakh rupees was recovered from her savings account. Now, in the meantime, the activist refuted all the allegations against her and said that while she has not obtained any official notice from the police's end, she was ready with an answer to every allegation. In the meantime, Delhi High Court has slammed the centre for filing a 1-page reply to a petition seeking the declaration of the PM Cares Fund as the state under Article 12 of the Constitution of India. Now, the court directed the authorities to file a detailed and exhaustive reply within 4 weeks and listed the case for next hearing on the 16th of September. To give you a context, a plea has been filed by advocate Samyak Gangwal, which alleges that the PM Cares Fund is not created by or under the Constitution or by any law made by the Parliament. Now, PM Cares Fund was set up to take donations from the public during COVID pandemic. Earlier, the centre had informed Delhi High Court that the Trust's fund is not a fund of the Government of India and it amounts and its amount, in fact, don't go in the consolidated fund of India. In the meantime, opposition leaders have alleged that the unveiling of the national emblem at the new Parliament building by Prime Minister Modi was a violation of the principle of separation of powers between the legislature and executive. Now, yesterday, Prime Minister Modi unveiled the bronze emblem on the roof of the under construction Parliament building, which is a part of the Central Vista project in New Delhi. In the meantime, according to PTI, BJP spokesperson Anil Baluni has said that the opposition's allegations were unfounded and politically motivated. Meanwhile, in Gujarat, the Gujarat ATS have seized 75.3 kg of heroin estimated to be worth 376.5 crore rupees from a container near the Mundra port in Kutch district. Now, according to Gujarat Director General of Police, this was sent from the United Arab Emirates and was meant to be transported, in fact, to Punjab. Now, there have been several occasions in the last 1 year wherein drugs have been seized from the Gujarat ports. For instance, in September last year, the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence seized nearly 3,000 kg of heroin believed to have originated in Afghanistan and worth about 21,000 crore rupee from Mundra port. Moving on to business news right now. India's retail inflation measured by the Consumer Price Index rose to 7.01% in the month of June. This is slightly lower than the retail inflation that was reported in the month of May. It was at 7.04%. Now, this is the sixth consecutive month, however, that the CPI data has breached the RBI upper margin of 6%. The government has mandated the central bank to maintain retail inflation at 4% with a margin of 2% on either side for a 5-year period ending March 2026. Also, the Indian rupee ended at a record low of 79.60 rupees against the US dollar today. Meanwhile, the euro reached parity with the US dollar for the first time in 20 years. Now, this comes amid a cut in Russian gas supplies to Europe, which has heightened fears of a recession in the Eurozone. On to science news right now. NASA has released the first images from the James Webb Space Telescope. Now, the image was released during a White House briefing in the presence of US President Joe Biden and VP Kamala Harris. Now, the image is said to be the deepest, most detailed infrared view of the universe to date, containing the light from galaxies that has taken many billions of years to reach us. On to news coming in from across the globe. In Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka's main opposition party will nominate its leader Sajith Premadasa as the country's next president when elections are held in the parliament on the 20th of July. This is according to Reuters. Earlier, the Prime Minister had resigned. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa is also set to resign on Wednesday. In the meantime, immigration officials withdrew from operations in the Silk Route Lounge when former Minister Basil Rajapaksa attempted to leave Sri Lanka. Now, Rajapaksa was going to fly to Washington via Dubai. Now, according to reports, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa was also trying to flee the country. According to ANI, at least 10 people were injured and later hospitalized following a clash at temple trees in Colombo between protesters and the police. End with one piece of good news that comes in from the state of Maharashtra. The Mangrove Foundation has set up its first ecotourism village at Marambalpada, which is 5 kilometers from Virar railway station near Mumbai. Now, the organization has developed a mangrove and marine biodiversity information center in the area, along with mangrove boat safari, nature trails, bird watching, mangrove boardwalk, island visit, among other activities as well. That brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.